YouTube, what is going on? We are behind the wheel of my Tesla Model 3, even though this is a Rivian R1S video. The reason why I'm behind this is very important, but we'll get to that in just a second. Kenya King asks on YouTube, what has been your experience with service centers, body shops, in the snow since you're in Massachusetts? I hear the Chelsea service centers all you guys have currently until another one gets online, and that one gets pretty overloaded. I'm paraphrasing based off memory, but here is the exact caption from Kenya King on my previous video. And I wanted to make a video talking about this specifically because if you are considering a Rivian, the ownership experience is pivotal, right? And understanding how the service centers operate really gives you sort of a look behind the curtain at how your potential ownership experience could go. So if you guys have been watching this channel for a little over a month, you'll know that I traded in my 2024 Toyota Tacoma for a 2024 Rivian R1T. T, you say, but I've been watching R1S videos. Yes, there originally was an R1T. Reason being was there was a really good friends and family promotion that allowed me to get a good amount off sticker for that Rivian, and it just honestly made a dream come true. I really have wanted a Rivian R1T since their initial inception. So I get the Rivian R1T. I have some problems, and because of the problems, I have to contact the service center. Now, how Tesla operates is when you get your car on delivery, you do your walk around, you check it out. If there's anything wrong at that point that can be addressed quickly, they fix it on site. Rivian does the same thing. If there's maybe a panel slightly misaligned or, I don't know, just something very small, they'll address it on site. So similar on par experience. After that, though, is where things kind of deviate a little bit. So this Model 3, we purchased new in 2022. It is a rear-wheel drive model, LFP battery, just like my Rivian. And after a week or so, I noticed some sort of like trim piece was just making a stink over here, right? Making a little bit of a noise. I put in a service claim. Within maybe an hour, I get a notification from Tesla saying, hey, these are the appointments we have available. We can send someone out to you. And all of those appointments were within 2 weeks from the message sent. Contrast that with Rivian. My R1T's bed camera did not work on delivery, but I didn't notice that because, to be frank, I didn't really know what to look for in the UI. It's user error that I didn't notice it when I was picking it up. I fully acknowledge that. And my suspension was very loud, louder than it should have been. Now that later on we figured out was the jounce lines, but something that I would not have been able to perceive at delivery. The earliest appointment at the time of my first message was 3 months out. Okay? 3 months out. Now, I caused a little bit of a stink because admittedly, driving a car with suspension that's too loud or that a core camera doesn't work is kind of frustrating, especially when you spend what you spend on these trucks. And Rivian was great. They said, hey, we hear you. How about you bring it in a little bit sooner? Oh my goodness. Christmas Eve in Boston. There's no traffic on 93. Are you kidding me? This is incredible. My days. What a beautiful experience. Okay. Sorry about that. It's just exciting to see 4 lanes of 93 at 9:09 a.m. open and nobody on them. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is my Christmas present to me. So thank you for that, Massachusetts. Anyway, I made a little bit of a stink with Rivian, and they were able to pencil me in for the following week. So they penciled me in for the following week. I bring my truck down. I get a Rivian R1T loaner. The loaner that I got was a quad, green interior, killer thing. It was so cool. I did a walk around of that truck. You can find it on the channel. And that's where things started to get a little bit off the rails. Now, communication with my service center was great. The people there were awesome. But as Kenya King alluded to, because that service center services more than just the immediate surrounding area, it is in fact overloaded. My car didn't get diagnosed for a week. Parts then had to get ordered, some of which were back ordered, which caused another week. So 2 weeks into service, I picked up the truck 2 weeks before, right? So equal time in service versus in my possession. A third week goes by, the parts get installed, and then I pick it up on the fourth week. Driving home from the service center, I accelerate on the off-ramp, and my rear motor disconnects. Come to find out later that that was because of when they were doing the jounce line service in my Rivian, they did something that impacted the motor. Maybe they forgot to plug something in, or they broke a sensor or something like that. And because of that, my rear motor was offline. So strike two, I had to bring it back for service. And within my first 3 months of ownership, 2 of those months, my R1T was in service. That truck ends up being a lemon. We move on. Now, every vehicle has lemons, right? CR-V, noted for reliability, lemons exist. The Bronco Sport, noted for reliability, lemons exist. The Tesla Model 3, surely lemons exist, right? So I'm not saying that my Rivian R1T experience is what every Rivian is going to be. Hell, that's why I bought an R1S, because I thought I had an outlier in the Rivian system. But it brings to light the service center issue around you, right? Things can take a long time. Now, the service center was really great to deal with. The loaner that I got was a Rivian, so it's not like I was, in some, Ford Fiesta or Mitsubishi Mirage loaner while I have a $75,000 pickup truck. No, I was in a Rivian. I got lucky to get a Rivian loaner because my service center had some available. But the fact of the matter is, the service time was really, really long. So something to keep in mind if you are considering one of these vehicles is that they can be as friendly as can be, but some things can just take that teensy-weensy bit longer. Now, as Kenya King alluded to in my YouTube comment, we are going to be getting another service center because there are a ton of Rivians here in my area, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont. There's a lot of Rivians for good reason, right? They're outdoorsy, good EVs. When that comes online, hopefully the stress helps a little bit more. But even still, if we look at Tesla in Massachusetts alone, Tesla has, just in this side of Massachusetts, the eastern part of Massachusetts, they have 3 service centers. Just for Massachusetts, that doesn't include Massachusetts. That doesn't include New Hampshire. That doesn't include Vermont. That doesn't include Maine. That doesn't include Rhode Island. That doesn't include Connecticut. That's just the eastern part of Massachusetts. So when Rivian opens up their second service center, I can imagine wait times will still be long, and that's evident by the fact that I made an appointment for the windshield wiper issue that I talked about in my last video, the problem that was just irking me, to be frank. And my appointment is in February. I think like February 11th, right? And it's Christmas Eve. So that is a almost 2-month lead time for an appointment, which is kind of nuts. Now, I'm sure I could make a stink and say, hey guys, like, my vehicle is still pretty new, so I want to make sure that there aren't any further problems. Can we bring it in sooner? And maybe it'll work, but if I was just going in for a tire rotation, or I needed some simple maintenance that you couldn't or don't want to perform at home, your lead time in a service center light area is 2 months. And that's a lot of time. That is a lot of time. So overall, this is kind of a short video, but I just wanted to talk through what my experience has been with service centers in the area. Everyone has been very polite. I love all the folks that are located at the Chelsea Center. They're all very nice. The person that heads up the service center, when I was going through my lemon process, was incredibly nice. He fully detailed all the work that they did, and he even advocated on my behalf, saying, hey, if this is your decision, like, we will back you. It's not like he was trying to sort of push me away from doing it. He was great, honestly, really, really great to work with. But because there is only one, for Massachusetts and the surrounding areas, it certainly is a little bit overloaded. Now, that said, outside of the wiper issue, my R1S hasn't had any problems. So, you know, I'm not going to need to go to that service center, knock on wood, right? What is going on here? What is going on here? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, so that has been my experience so far. Thank you, Kenny King, for the question. If you guys have any follow-ups or you want me to clarify anything that I talked about, don't forget to message me, because honestly, that is my goal here, is to provide you as much confidence as you need. These cars are pretty expensive, so because of that, if I can help bring to light how the ownership experience is, I most certainly will. Because this Tesla, you know, hate it or love it, hate the brand, love the brand, I don't care. They, over time, right, they out the gate were not like this either, but now they're at the point to where the service center process is pretty streamlined, right? There are enough locations in most of the states in the United States. They've made enough of these cars now to where they have a pretty good understanding as to how to fix them and how to do it quickly. The common problems are around. The Model 3 itself, even though a new one just came out, is largely the same, right? So to service these cars is pretty straightforward. And because of that, the service center timelines are a lot quicker with Tesla than they are with Rivian. But the overall experience, i.e. the people you're interfacing with, the loaners you get, the conversations that you have around specific topics at Rivian is way more pleasant than any interaction I've ever had to have at a Tesla service center. So those are my thoughts. I am Money Shift. My windshield is dirty, and I just realized I don't have any wiper fluid, so I'm going to go get that fixed. But we will see you in the next one. Have a Merry Christmas. And yeah, I'll see you later on this week. Maybe we'll do a summary video on how this thing has been. We've got 30,000 miles on the clock with this Tesla Model 3. The last note that I'll make is if you guys are interested in a Rivian and you want to use my referral code, it is in the description. Just know that the referral amount is changing come the new year. So if you feel so inclined to use my referral bonus on a Rivian, you get a $750 credit to the Rivian store today. That number changes to $500 at the turn of the new year. Pretty big difference. You know, you can get a bunch of things with that. Floor mats, privacy covers. If you're getting an R1T, you can get the things that go over the bed. I don't know why it's slipping for me right now, but where you would put like skis on, things like that. You can get a lot of stuff with that money. I know these cars aren't cheap, so anything helps on that front. So if you guys are so inclined, that link will be in the description, and I'll throw the Tesla one in there too. $2,000 off a lot of the Teslas, $1,000 off a lot of the Model 3s and Model Ys, 0% on the Model 3 and Y. Not a bad time to lease one of those either. I'm Money Shift. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you guys on Friday.